Looks like a bunch of sticks stuck in the ground. Well, that's because it is, but if you get down, it's actually a forest for our next battle. My wife thinks I'm doing yard work, which technically is true, picking up these sticks in the yard, but I had to escape this horrible 98 degrees heat and escape down to my little sheltered hobbit hole. And another drop off. There we go, that ought to do. It's like a rule in the house, everything the light touches, you may not dig in. So I retreat to darkness. All right, I'm gonna leave some of this that length, a little too high. These bad boys here, and these are gonna be our trees. Oh, that's gonna look really cool at G.I. Joe height. Oop, that's probably just a gas line. There it is. Much like your pubes, you gotta prune these things, otherwise you get poked in the eye up here, just like pubes. Oh, this is kind of cool because it's stretching lateral. I'm gonna leave that. That's kind of that's head knocking height for G.I. Joe. You know, I'm gonna get a figure for scale. Back to the darkness. And calculate this. The other thing that likes to live down here, mosquitoes. I am getting eaten alive. These dudes. You think he's got me? You think he's got me? Bam! Dead. Oh, bam! Oh, got another one. Oh, malaria. There we go. I'll give a couple broken logs to the base here. Just something like, God, I'm getting eaten. All right, finally some bug spray. Wait, what in the detailed coconut milk? This is not good. All right, finally I got armed up with some DEET-free. No. I need the chemical stuff. I need the sperm killing kind. This is... Yeah, I know. Part 5 is on the way, but I had a setback. It kept growing faster than I could keep up with it. So every time I wanted to shoot out here, I had to do yard work. So now I'm just going to... I mowed it down to the ground, and I use a torch, and I'm covering it. I'm just going to kill everything under this blanket, so I don't have to worry about it. This is the town. It's actually covering there. So all those things will die, so I don't have to worry about this ever again. There's all the maggots. You want to see how many there are? I'll come back to that. Return to the darkness. So this is good, except if I were to plant this in the ground, it looks kind of cool up here, but that's all going to jab me in the face. And really, I just need a forest to be convincing at this level. We'll keep that split right there because that's just enough height. And there it is. That'll go that way, and then it'll reach across the forest and it'll add a little more depth that way. There we go. Now I got a bunch of thin ones here. This will look better once I actually pan out and you see the macro level. You can't see the forest for the trees. Oh man, has that metaphor ever been more aptly put? And just like with your partner selection, you want to add some thickness in there with the skinny ones. You know, get a little variety going. I don't know if you can see them, but they're like hovering all around me. They can't touch me, just like a stripper. I'm a mosquito stripper. You can look, but you can't touch. I made a happy mistake and I snapped the one off. That's okay, because we can just pretend like it's battle damage. We'll put some broken logs there. There we go. It like fell into this one. It definitely fell and no one heard it. After just a little bit, the forest needs to be long enough to be an obstacle and deep enough, because if you can just park right up at the edge and shoot into it, that doesn't do you good. So it needs to come out like a small arms range is 5 feet in this game, and heavy weapons are 10. So we're gonna have to add a lot more depth to this. That's okay, because I got a lot of junk lying around. We got this cool natural drainage running through here. It's gross. I mean, I've stepped in it barefoot twice. That's why I went back and put my little slippy slips on, my moccasins here. But that's actually, it adds some character to it. I'm sure we're not going to play in it, but actually no, we are going to play in that. But I wonder if I can build off of this. Way back in my enlisted days, right? If you pick a really nasty area, the enemy doesn't want to go in because they're going to assume you're going to go somewhere high and dry, right? So this is where the least likely, you know, you'll be able to do your escape and evade, or if you're approaching an objective. But if you dig in that, it's foul. So you actually want to dig in something that's more dry. Otherwise your soldiers are going to trench foot because they're sitting in a bunch of muck. And we're just going to cut a whole mess of small fighting positions. Not an entire trench system, just small foxholes. And with the extra dirt, I'm actually just going to make an artificial hill out of it back here. Hello, Mr. Worm. Start packing in make a little mound back here, and this disgusting area. Oh man, God, my soldiers are gonna hate me. 10 points says I forget about my equipment as I get called inside, and it's gonna sit out here in the rain. So it used to be you dig the foxhole fighting position, the shoulders of the tallest guy. Now I'm 6'2", and somehow I'd always get paired with 5'8", 5'6" guys, and they just absolutely hated sharing a hole with me. Now this guy has also used a little more reinforced there for some logs for extra cover. Oh, it wasn't good enough. The spray wasn't good enough. I need a bouncer. I need a bouncer from a mosquito stripper. Evil son, to the darkness. These might be a little too girthy for G.I. Joes. But then again, this could be like the big tree in the woods. Like it's a actual landmark. Like go to the old, they're near the old oak. You know what I mean? Like, no. Is it too much? There it is amongst the forest here. And some of the bark came off, but I'm gonna chop this up and use it as debris because the floor should be covered with debris. The supplies I use, I'll link the description below, but you can find this at any Hobby Lobby or Michael's, or just, you know, go into the woods. Hey, as an influencer, I get a little percentage back every time you go to the woods. So go ahead and just click that link, go to the woods, put in Toy Dom, and I get a little bit back. It already happened. I was putting that one in. I got jabbed in the freaking eye with these ones. That's the measurement. How high is the forest? Not eye jabbing height. That's how high. Yeah, see, that's cool. That'll look like just got blown to pieces there. Yeah, that's neat. Just have a thin part of the forest, a thick part. I don't know. I'm just gonna feel this out. There's not a real plan here. Oh wow, look at that. That looks really cool. Man, what am I gonna do with this piece? I'll put it on a shelf. Delicious. So in some woods, you know, especially after you've made your time in them, there are landmarkers. Like I said, the old oak or this poison oak I just rubbed my arms in. Good. Add that to mosquito bites. Because sometimes you have like a landmark, like the rock, you know, so you can say like, hey, they're over by the boulder. As soon as I said the boulder, all I could think of was Avatar, the boulder. Fallen tree with a tree that it knocked down along its path there too, right? So just, yeah, there we go. I don't remember where I put my figures at this point. Oh, there's one. Oh man. I know I put one in one of these fighting positions. I've lost them. I'm gonna have to cover them with like army safety vests to find these guys. Ugh! Maybe I should put some Cobra Blue dudes or some bright neon 90s figures in these woods. Yeah, there you go. See? This guy's got some actual cover and concealment there by the old broken tree near the boulder. Crunch! Oh no, was that a figure? Oh no. I didn't like this left side of the forest. It just reminded me of those disgusting souls from Little Mermaid, all like leaning up and like, I think it's because they're all relatively the same density and they're just straight. So let's add some variety in there. Start adding some spruce. This guy's just going, look at me, I'm wacky wavy little inflatable tree guy. Put me in the woods, I'm over here. And we're getting there, my darlings, we're getting there. So because players are clever, let me rephrase that, because players think they're clever, they're gonna try to find a bypass through this. Like, oh, I'll just keep going where Dom didn't build a forest. So this is the barrier. You can't go past that. Progress on a hill. So for the hill to be effective, it needs to add two things. It needs to add some sort of elevation, right? So it can actually be used to look up and over, or at the very least, some cover, right? Some shelter from any type of frontal assaults there. So that's pretty good. I purposely picked pieces with vegetation on there because, you know, it's like a grassy hill, right? So I'm gonna try to get those on top. Oh, it's like pulling. Oh God, it's like pulling a dead person's hair. How do you know that reference, Dom? Shut up. I know I'm not going for absolute realism, but the leaves kind of just take away from the limited amount of immersion I have here, so those have to go. There we go. And maybe he can use this as an observation post for the forest, right? It gives him a little bit of advantage looking down, just like I do and everybody else. And what I think I'll do on the backside is actually give them an egress route, or maybe do some cuts in here for some actual artillery shelters. So anyway, this is what you son of a... A little debris. That all went in the... That's terrible. There we go. Shake it out like a salt shaker. There we go. There we go. Like slapping a ham. All right, well this is the length. It's going this way. And I've got this gap over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna arc it and close this distance here. And that'll add even more depth. All right, we started the bend. Arch or arc, I don't know, whatever. But there's too many big ones. We need to fill this out a little bit more. Sometimes the shovel just isn't precise enough, so you just gotta get down there with your fingers, get down the dirt. Ugh, definitely walked into a pocket of mosquitoes that was absolutely just determined to break through my barrier. They are, oh my God, you can't see them. What am I doing? Hill's looking pretty good. You can't see with the sunlight. I'll wait till there's a shadow. So I started running out of the more diverse ones with the Ys of branches here. So this side's looking a little stiff, so I'm gonna go find some other twigs. Ah, crap. Those got nice and baked in the sun. Ooh, they are warm to the touch. I know what you're thinking. This guy made a YouTube channel about toys. He spent most of this video talking about mosquitoes and collecting sticks. What can I say, man? It's the algorithm. Maybe. Debris. It is ridiculously ironic that I cleared a forest floor just to add stuff to a forest floor, a fake forest floor. I actually think this may be too dense as compared to somewhere here. So I'm gonna thin some of this out and replant it over here. The other thing besides just the mechanics of the game is the play factor. Like, my fat ass has to be able to get back here in order to reach that dude over there. So we're gonna have to carve a little Dom butt space in here. Which is, you know, I've heard a natural occurrence in forests too. All right, here we go, our Ewok village here. And ups the daisies, way back there. All right, let's get our troops are gonna go out there. Where all those APCs from Joe Fest? Well, that's what they're used for. Little troop carriers, I can move them around easily. These are all the vehicle drivers. They need to come out and then go over to their vehicles. Yes, I'm underneath my deck, so if you ever find my house, now you can find a giant G.I. Joe collection out back in order to steal. Please don't steal. We're gonna give them a utility vehicle, no guns on it, just be able to move around. This is the red tarantulas as seen in the Battle Crick. So fast attacking, be able to move around, so that's probably not the best for woods. What else should we give them? Some gun trucks? Here's what we'll give them, a little anti-tank platform in case they run into any armor. Not that people are gonna be driving tanks through there much, but you know, maybe shooting from the woods out in the open. And shovels, I'll give them shovels. Okay, here we go, let's start setting them up. That's just my own homemade blend of human ammonia to kill that plant, maybe. This might be too thick to play in. Abracadabra. This will not only remind me where the squads are, but also protect them from any sun damage while they're out here. Two dudes in a fighting hole, support, and then some guys by the big old fallen log. For orientation, there's the hill, and in front of the hill, got two fighting positions. I'm still filling those in with squad mates. Orientation, there's the front of the forest, there's an unfilled fighting position, here's a squad. Here's a squad in the center, and then I'm filling in some fighting positions here, and then this squad moved up here. Here's the hill now. Yeah. In the woods. I think there'd be enough space for small vehicles like Jeeps to be able to get through. They can do restricted. Who's driving and why is he standing up? Okay, hold on. Yeah, look at that. All right, here we go. So just to be able to get through the woods with enough slow pace, restricted terrain, but tanks definitely have a hard time getting through here. As I was moving through, it's a little dense in some areas because we have to be able to get down here to play. So I had to start removing a couple sticks every now and then to thin it out. So I'm really tired every time I squat, I get one of these right up my butt. So there's that fire support vehicle. Can kind of get a good line of sight. Not too well though. Beside the vehicle, there's gonna be two fighting positions for the infantry to help support it.
Hugs Kisses.